Symbols and formulae. This topic we learnt in our previous discussions. Today, out of the two, we are going to discuss in detail about chemical formula. Chemical formula is also known as molecular formula. For every chemical, there is a formula. How we have formulae in mathematics, in the same way in chemistry too we have formulae for chemicals, because this formula will tell us how many different kinds of atoms are there in a molecule, then in what ratio these different kinds of atoms are there, because all these are governed by laws of chemical combinations. Out of the two laws of chemical combinations we have learned, the second one, the law of definite proportion or the law of constant composition, is very important, which tells us that irrespective of the source, a particular chemical has a definite composition, constant composition. So to verify this law, we took an example of water collected from different source. If you analyze in the laboratory, its ratio between hydrogen and oxygen is 2:1 by volume, which is fixed. That means ratio is fixed. Which ratio? Ratio of elements in a molecule. So that's why the law says that it is a definite composition. So that means what we are going to discuss today, we are going to discuss every chemical is having a definite formula which tells about the different kinds of atoms in a proper ratio. So with this, I welcome you all for today's session, how to go for chemical formulae using the knowledge of what ions. Okay, ion already we discussed in our just a few days back, how ions are formed and what is meant by an ion. In ion, how many types of ions how many types are there? So positive ion, negative ion. Positive ion is also called as cation, negative ion is also called as anion. So all these knowledge we use to make a formula. So once again I welcome you all for today's session on how to write a chemical formula. There are some guidelines to write a particular formula. Okay, so let us understand first guidelines, or we can say it as the rules to write down the chemical formulae for a particular molecule. Number one, write the symbols of the constituent elements. Positive radical to the left and the negative radical to the right. Always we write the positive ion on the left side of the formula and the negative ion on the right side of the formula. There is no hard and fast rule that if you write the positive on the right also, but we have made some what we can say guidelines so that everybody follows the same guidelines. So always we write positive ion on the left side, negative ion on the right side. After writing the positive ion and the negative ion, what is next? Next is write the valency of each radical below the symbol, or in place of valency you can write down the charge. For example, the charge of calcium is +2 and the charge of chloride is -1. Okay, and how to know the charge for a particular ion? For this, please refer to the table what I gave in the previous class. Positive ion and negative ion, monatomic ion, diatomic ion, and polyatomic ion, plus ion, minus ion, all those. So that knowledge is essential and it is a must for today's discussion. Therefore, write either valency or charge of a particular ion. Then what he says, shift the valencies crosswise to the lower right corner of the symbols. Thus, the valencies become subscripts of the symbols. Okay. For example, if I want to go for the formula for water, first water is made up of how many different kinds of atoms? Water is made from two. One is H, one is O. Okay. In the water, uh, what is the valency of H here? It is +1. Okay. So it is +1. You see, nothing is there means what? It is taken as 1. So it is a +1. Right. Now, what is the valency or the charge of O? It is 2 minus. This is called as the oxide. Okay. O2 minus is called oxide ion. Please refer the table. Now, after writing the charge and the valence here, see valence of hydrogen is 1. Plus indicates charge, 1 indicates the valency. Okay. Here minus indicates the charge, 2 indicates the valency. So here written here valency at the bottom. Okay. Right. In the same way, for the carbon dioxide, valency of carbon is 4, valency of oxygen is 2, here also 2, here also 2. Okay. Charge is minus in the case of oxygen and charge is plus in the case of carbon, and plus is written on the left, minus is written on the right. Okay. In the case of iron carbonate, so iron charge is +3 and the carbonate comes under the polyatomic ion. Okay. So its charge is 2 minus. So I have written here 2 is the valency and the 3 is the valency for carbonate and the iron radical respectively, and the charge of the iron is +3 and the charge of the carbonate is minus. Okay. So after writing the charge and the valency at the bottom, next what? Next is reduce the valency numbers to a simple ratio by dividing with a common factor. Valency valency 1 need not be written. For example, here water. Okay. +1 will come here, -2 will come this side. Okay. That means this +1 will come here, means O1, and this 2 will come here. So either you can put arrow mark like this, or this is taken by this. In this way also you can understand. Okay. So -2 will come here, right? 2. Don't write the charge. Once they react, charge is nullified. Okay. Once they combine, charge is nullified. Only write down the how much charge is there, that one. So O comes here, 1 comes here. So H2O1. Now you combine here H2O1. So 1 no need to write, it is understood. That's why I have not written here H2O. This is the chemical formula for water. In the same way, for carbon dioxide, 4 comes here, 2 goes here. So it is what? It is C2O4. C2O4. What I said, if both are divisible by a common factor, please divide it. Okay. And 2 and 4 are divisible by 2. So 2 ones are, 2 twos are. So it is C1O2, CO2. Bring it to the simplest form. So CO2 is the chemical formula for carbon dioxide. In the same way, for iron carbonate, so this is +3 will come here. Okay. See, +3 will go to this ion and -2 will come to this ion. That means Fe bracket 2 CO3 bracket this 3. Fe2 CO3 3. Okay. See why he has placed a bracket here? Why not for the iron? See, for the monoatomic, if the single atom is there, no, for that no need to write the bracket. If it is diatomic, if it is triatomic, if it is polyatomic, so to avoid the confusion, so we have to write the bracket. Why no? Because when this CO3 will take this 3, okay, this 3 belongs to the entire unit. For both carbon and for both oxygen, this 3 belongs. Okay, that's why to show the belongingness of 3 to the entire unit, so we have tried the bracket. Okay, so 3 charge of this number, this 3 will come here. Where it will go? It will go to the CO3. First you put the bracket, it is a big polyatomic ion, then put the 3. So now what is the formula now? Fe2CO3. Fe2CO3 thrice. Fe2CO3 thrice, and this 2 and this 3 are not divisible, so already it is the simplest form, so no need to write. It is formula Fe2O3 for the water, iron carbonate. Now see for the iron hydroxide, iron 3, he has specially written here. Okay, this indicates what? Iron is in the 3 state. In the table there are what? There are two ions for the iron. One is Fe2, one is Fe3, and for copper there are two. One is copper 1 and copper 2. So to avoid the confusion which copper is there, so we have to write in bracket Roman number indicates in which charge it is there. So iron is in the +3 charge and hydroxide is what? -1. So -1 will come here, +3 will go here. So -1 here, the minus not -1, 1 will come here. So 1, okay, and the 3 will go here because it is a diatomic. I told you put the bracket. Bracket is put and 3 will come here. So formula what? FeOH thrice. In this way we can make the formula. Please work out. Huh? Then we'll go for the remaining formula afterwards. Okay, please try this one. It is assignment. Okay, go to the slide and try this. Till then, bye and have a nice time.